Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video for Friday. We have our special friend Kamina GX back on the channel. So what's up?
Good. I guess it's another day for Friday Night Magic.
Seriously? Alright, I guess you're starting off with the
Okay.
jokes. That's fine. So I guess this time around, I wanted just to bring up two things. I wanted to talk about the Pokemon rotation, since we just found out yesterday about the rotation. And I wanted to bring up stuff about the new Pokemon 20th anniversary movie. But before all that happens, I'm waiting for you to accept the request.
I think the request was too formal. I don't like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Alright, so I guess I get to call the flip. And just how it happens with real life, I fail. Alright, so I guess we'll start with the movie, since that's probably something you know more about. What's your opinion based on the new trailers that have been out for the movie, the posters that have been out, the design of the characters?
Now, to start with, from what I understand, the designs of the characters are just re-emphasized versions of characters from the original manga. I find it kind of weird at that point to, like, instead of using Red, to just use Ash for that scenario, but it's up to them. I mean, Ash does have his own manga, so
That's cool. I didn't know that.
yeah, you have the Pokemon manga for.
By the way, waiting on you to choose an
Red,
active.
Green, and Blue. Huh?
Waiting on you to choose an active.
Oh.
Cool. So I didn't know he had a manga, but besides all of that, because I'm going to ask you reasonings on that and your opinion on that. What do you think so far from what we've seen?
I mean, it's cool, but I don't necessarily think I understand why they did a new version of the original Pokemon movie.
Right.
But I didn't really feel the need to. It seems more like promoting, because a lot of this Pokemon movie is gonna have a lot of stuff from Sun and Moon, from the Alola.
Yeah, that's why I noticed that. I noticed that the trailers and everything you saw, and the synopsis and everything that we saw before the very first trailer and everything with Ho-Ho and stuff, we thought, and based on the name of the movie, we thought it was going to be a retelling of the very original stuff. Like the very first few episodes, and telling you, oh, this is supposed to be an origin story, or a retelling of the origin story of how Ash met Pikachu and stuff. And you play, and you're like, oh, this is nostalgia, and this is cool. Now this is kind of interesting. But then you see the new stuff, right? And the new trailers, like, you're right. Like, you see all these newer Pokemon, you see this Alolan stuff, and you see everything else, and you're like, you see it being more focused now on Charizard and Charmander and Charmeleon and stuff, and you're like, you're just rewriting the story, and you're adding on more things to it, and that just doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't know. But since you tend to know more about this stuff than most people would, why do you think they changed Brock and Misty to these two new characters that people don't seem to know much about?
Well, people do seem to. Well, people who don't know the manga don't know these characters. People who don't know the manga know these characters. It's kind of one of these things where it's like, it would be new to people who don't do anything other than play the games and watch the anime.
Right.
But I guess it's one of those things where it's like, it's supposed to be an anniversary thing, first of all. So I'm pretty sure it was mostly to like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if you saw the story the way some people who read the manga read it and stuff like that.
So you're saying that this story is mostly catered to the people who watch the manga. But if that's true, then why pick Ash?
I think they just used the characters to kind of like bring some people who read the manga in the whole thing.
But then why use Ash? You know, if you want to use some of the characters from the manga, can't they use Red and Blue and some of these other characters?
They could, but I'm pretty sure these characters are specifically from the Ash manga. So they wanted to use the Ash.
I
Yeah.
guess. But then the question still comes: is do you think people are justified in their opinion of being angry for no Brock and no Misty?
I don't think so because it's the same scenario of why you should not be angry. There's no Broken Misty in the new series. It's one of those things where they were trying to make something new. The story is an original retelling, but the problem is that there's a lot of change factors. This whole thing is supposed to be a different way of retelling, kind of proposing what the whole original manga was going for, and slash a whole new setup altogether.
Right, of course.
So I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, it seems stupid, it seems dumb, I don't want it just because no Misty and Brock. I mean, they could have done that, and they could have just done the whole thing where everything's the same.
Right.
But then all you're doing is a high HD retelling of the original story. I don't know. I don't think people would actually care to go watch that.
So do you think this will still be popular here, even though there's a lot of people that are not very happy with it?
I actually would consider that there would be a bit of people. There is a group that doesn't like it, but at the same time, there's a group of people who I've seen talk out loud, pretty much saying like, "Hey, we read the manga all this time. We want to see these characters in real life. It is our opportunity to see this." And it's like, and some people are pissed off, and some people think the biggest problem is that some of the people who are angry think that these characters were just created. How you call it? But they really weren't. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like some of the hate for this comes from ignorance.
Right. I guess so. That's pretty interesting for letting us know this stuff because I didn't know that stuff. I'm sure people didn't know that stuff. So it's kind of interesting.
At the end of the day, they're doing this for the fans. Doing this for the fans doesn't necessarily mean doing it for you, as a separate fan. It means doing it for people who like the manga or anime or something in some kind of way.
Right, of course.
So not everyone's gonna like whatever Pokemon come out with. But Pokemon has been such an outgoing series that there's really no way I think they can do something that will please all their fans.
Right.
You have people calling saying that they want to see an original movie for Johto with Gold and all the characters from there. You have people saying the same thing about Sinnoh. You have the same thing people saying about every other Pokemon generation.
Yeah,
because ironically, Pokemon generation sometimes get fans that don't get to see the cool stuff they want to see.
Yeah, that's true. I remember watching all that stuff and all those mini episodes, and I was really interested in seeing the manga quote unquote takes on all these characters that we've seen portrayed differently in the anime.
But I guess at the end of the day, it's just really dependent on how fans will receive it. Well, do I think it's going to be popular here? No, maybe not. But it really doesn't matter. Because the popularity you give here only gives you so much.
Right, of course.
I mean, the Japanese fan base is going to love it. Regardless. I mean, like, that's why the movie's being made to begin with.
Japanese fan base, right?
Yeah.
I guess so, that's true.
That doesn't mean we're entirely without a voice because it is still a thing that we are.
Why'd you bring that one out? It has a float stone on it so I can retrieve it for free.
I don't know. I just did things because I did things.
I guess so. Alright, so moving on from the movie and all those like interesting facts about it and stuff. We'll mention one final thing that has bothered me for a little bit. But why did they change the design on his hat? It's something stupid, I understand, for me to ask about that stuff, but it's just weird to me.
I I heard this is a rumor, but I'm not entirely sure. But the design of his hat, as you know, actually has changed quite a couple times already.
Yeah, I know. Every series,
But
his hat changes.
supposedly, it's been a new kind of trending tradition where they do it in order to signify a change in the director of the show, pretty much.
Oh, okay, so that's kind of like a Easter egg type thing, saying, "Hey, the director's changed, so here's a new hat."
Yeah, and of course, I believe the movie director is different and all that, so.
Yeah. Oh man, I was about to move on, but I just remembered a while ago I saw. I follow a couple of YouTubers for Pokemon. I don't know what the abbreviation for that would be. I guess PokeTubers or something. I don't know. And I remember one of them went to a convention a while ago who got to meet the original voice actor for Ash for season 1. And then since stuff about the movie hadn't been completely revealed yet, he particularly asked if this actress was asked to reprise her role. And when she talked about it, she said that she hadn't been approached by the company and that they may have wanted to use someone different.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense for her to reprise her role for that, because it's even in like reproductions of stuff, it's quite a thing now that Pokemon just uses the newest voice actors to do that stuff. They're not gonna go out of their way.
No, of course, but I'm just saying it'd be kind of like another nice nudge to the original fan base if they did get the original voice actress.
But let me ask you this: does it make sense to go ahead and re-get the original voice actor for Ash again, but then also not use Misty and Brock?
Like, I understand that, and I understand that it'd be nice to have Misty and Brock, but because they won't, at least nudge at least one way or another, you get me, to at least make both fan bases kind of happy.
That's kind of the thing, though. Like it's like going to the trouble of getting her would be kind of pointless if you're not also going to go to the trouble of getting Ashley. I mean,
Brock
Misty.
and Misty. I mean, I don't know. I'm just curious because
I'm pretty sure Misty wants to have Ash.
I mean, I'm just curious because the voice actress was asked about it, and she said that she wouldn't mind actually being able to redo the voice again.
I mean, the thing is, like, studios don't necessarily have the same relationship with their actors as every other studio.
Right, of course.
So it's one of those things where you gotta look at the Pokemon studio as a corporate. They don't really care who they hire as a voice actor, so I don't think they can do the job then.
That's kind of sad, actually.
It's life when it comes to those guys, so...
That's true. Alright. Enough of that. Moving on to the next topic. We're going to talk about the rotation. And we just found out that, the Primal Clash, Roaring Skies, Ancient Origins, and then, of course, the mini set Double Crisis is going to rotate by September. You don't really play much of the standard format. You play whatever you like. But I wanted to get your opinion because you're trying to finally play in tournaments, and tournaments, would require the standard format. So I want to know your take on this, now that you're trying to learn this new stuff, and then the rotation happens.
I'm gonna say that from the point of view of someone getting into the whole competitive scene for Pokemon, I'm surprised that actually it's just me, but seeing the actual, and by the way, totally screw you, we're gonna play again.
Yes, of course. I know we're gonna play again. I'll send you an invite real quick.
How you call it? Looking in from the perspective of someone like that, the way that in my way of saying, the ban list, the ban hammer coming in, it didn't really feel so hard for me trying to play a standard deck, because it felt like some of the cards that it hits, since it hits cards in a way, since in Pokemon some cards just, I don't know why, but I feel like the game's a little bit more balanced when it comes to certain things.
Sure.
Specifically when it comes to support cards and so forth. I felt like this didn't hurt as much.
Right.
I felt like it almost felt like a minor annoyance of now having to use different cards in the deck. But it doesn't feel like the biggest problem like it does like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic. Even Magic, actually, I would have to say, it doesn't hurt that much either.
Yeah. But now going back on the Magic thing, Magic's rotation cycle is about every 2 years or so. Whereas Pokemon's rotation is every year. What do you feel about that? That every year you'd have to rotate older sets to be able to still keep playing the newer stuff, as opposed to Magic's 2-year rotation.
I would be saltier if Pokemon was more expensive. I mean, like Magic, there is some really cheap cards out there, but there's also a lot of expensive cards that you need to actually play decks out there.
Right.
So I feel like most Pokemon decks can be played under $100.
You say that, but remember, Tapu Lele himself is like a $30 card on its own.
Yeah, but there is a cheaper version of him, isn't there?
Yeah, this is the cheaper version. He's like $30 to $35, and because again the rotation happens, Shaman rotates. We may not be able.
Most decks. Let's say all decks.
Yeah, well, it is. I feel like it is gonna become more of a staple now, especially with like I said, Shaman rotating. More people have been playing this now over anything else, and again with cards like VS Seeker being rotated out, I feel like more people are gonna be playing more copies of certain supporters. So more copies of Tapu Lele would be able to like help out that way.
I mean, Galaxy. Not Galaxy. Fucking whatever it's called, Cyclone. It's a really good card, but people don't run it because it's expensive. It's one of those things like it might be a staple, but not all decks are gonna run it, especially if it's expensive.
I guess, but yeah, like I mentioned with VS Seeker and all this stuff, what do you think? Now that the format feels like it might be a little bit slower, VS Seeker would let you dump whatever supporters you like, and VS Seeker would just grab them back for you, and you can use them however way you like.
I didn't really use VS Seeker specifically even in this deck, mostly because, like, I dropped cards and I drew so much that I didn't feel the need to search that much.
Right.
So, for me, it doesn't feel like a big difference, but I can tell that some slower decks are definitely feeling the hurt.
Yeah, because most decks, not all decks, would play 4 copies of VS Seekers to grab back the things they would need.
So it's one of those things where it's like decks who are fast are gonna be like, it's certainly an inconvenience, but it's not that big. But what's gonna hurt the most is gonna be those setup decks, the decks that really rely on getting those cards into their hand as much as possible.
Right. On the plus side, with this rotation stuff happening, you do get to keep max elixirs. So decks like Volcanion will still be okay. Decks that run a lot of basic Pokemon are gonna still be pretty good. But the way we would dig for max elixirs would be like be Trainer's Mail, and Trainer's Mail rotates too. So again, a little bit slower, but at least we get to keep some stuff.
Anyway, where were we?
Yeah, like get to keep being able to do that stuff. And I mean, yeah, we lose Shaman, but again,
are you saying it's a shame that we lose Shaman?
Yeah, funny joke. But I mean, again, we get to keep Tapu Lele, so that's fine. We do lose Team Magma Secret Base, which was pretty good, and decks that ran Drampa GX. So that was also a thing. But things go and things come, and we do lose Lysander, which is another sad thing to lose. But we are getting Guzma. He's pretty much like Lysander on steroids. He switches your opponent's active, and then he escape ropes yourself, which is pretty good. But on the upside, we do get to keep N, so that's pretty good, right?
I guess.
I mean, draws for days, right?
Quite an N.
And it's always control for your opponent when it's late game and they're down a few prizes. So they're really short on that, and you can get them that way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I noticed a lot of people are talking about how all their decks were hit. The rotation affects the supporter lineup, makes the deck slower. Now with VS Seeker gone, also people have asked, would it be better to play puzzles with time since those didn't get hit with the rotation. They do the same thing. They waste two item cards in your graveyard, but they do let you grab 2 cards back. So I don't know.
I think that's more of a. It's probably going to be more of a thing where how dependent you are to be a Seekers. Because if you are, you're going to run the Paso cards.
I guess so. Yeah, the puzzles I think are pretty decent, but again, with Garbodor running around, adding more items to your graveyard isn't always a good thing.
That might be true.
Yeah. So let's get this Berserk going and let's get you knocked out. I don't want you to keep setting up any further.
Oh, that's me.
No, that's called being nice.
No, that's me. That's Superman. I'll quit you.
Oh look, you're playing Max Elixir, so I'm pretty sure you're pretty stoked about that. You get to keep it.
I guess. Not like it's bad.
No, I mean it's a great setup card.
Give me Tapu Lele. I want to Tapu your Lele.
I guess so. I guess so.
This was a bad choice.
What was?
I should have brought out Flareon.
Oh yeah, you could have, and then you could have taken the energy and given it straight to him.
Yeah. You know what I think? I don't think the deck saves. So I don't think it saved the whole me putting the 2 new ones. The other 2.
It doesn't matter.
Well, it kind of does, but whatever.
I mean, if you prize them, then it doesn't actually matter.
Your life doesn't actually matter.
There's nothing I can do, so I'm just gonna pass. Because I don't have any energy, and I don't have any float stones or anything.
Light Thunder. How you get away with doing this thing.
Well, yeah, with the new format, if you had messed up this way, you could have played Guzma, Lysander, one of my guys out, and then you could have switched into that Flareon, and you would have still been okay. So that is a good thing, I guess. If you do screw up, the Guzma does kind of save you from fixing your problems. What I'm actually looking forward to is that I'm glad that Zorax survived because breakthrough and breakpoint, and I'm also pretty happy with the new Zorax that's coming out. I don't know if you know about the new one. It's a GX for 200, I think, 210 HP, I think. It's a stage 1 that has an ability that says you can discard 1 card from your hand, any card you want, and you draw 2 cards. So I feel if I make this newer version, I play at least 1 copy of this older one, just because it's attacked for 2 colorless energy. Instead of doing damage based on your opponent's bench, it does damage based on your own bench. But I feel like I'd still, still a really good card because of the drawing factor. And if you play with the new Darkrai will just let you discard it with the Zorak, and then he has an ability that says that he can res himself from the graveyard with an energy attached to him. So you're always gonna be good either way.
Healer down, healer down.
Yeah, I know. So I don't know. I feel like I'd probably go somewhere along the lines of that direction with some of the newer stuff coming out. Alright, I think for now, I think you probably got me. And I'm pretty sure you can kill this and you're pretty set up.
Pretty set up is the right word to use.
Yep. Most definitely. Oh yeah, I also remembered. We also lose Rough Seas. So that's kind of sad for all these water decks, I guess. And then with Ancient Origins gone, we also lose all the evolutions. You lose Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon. The ones that would give you the appropriate typing so you can hit for weaknesses.
I didn't know I did that. I guess I just wanted to have someone in the graveyard.
Probably. Oh, it's my turn, right?
Yep.
Well, there isn't much that I can do. So we're going to just attach an energy onto that. And no matter how much I don't want to do this, I'm going to do it.
Nah, it can't be that bad.
No, it works out since he lived.
Ouch. That might hurt a little.
Only a little?
We'll see.
You're right, it only hurt a little bit.
We'll see which one hurts more. Gotta make sure he's dead.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Oof. I guess I'll put him up since he's the one with the float stone. Okay. Guess I'll be a seeker here for a Lysander.
See, I had taken out the Charizard and put the other one in.
It's okay, I guess. Charizard's pretty good. But so is the other one.
Okay. But the other card would be much better.
No, yeah, of course. All you, buddy. All you.
Long you know it.
Oh, you got another license out. That's pretty good, right?
That's something.
Yeah, it most definitely is something. 80, 90, 110, 20, 30, 40, 50, 150. Well, first of all, we're going to add that float stone here.
Nah, that's not cute.
What isn't cute?
Just keep going.
Sure. Okay, we'll attach the energy here, and then we'll do that. Okay, that works out. That completely works out. And then, of course, you put up the Flareon and you get the knockout, right?
Sure.
Ouch, that really hurts.
I feel like you are already prepared to deal annoying damage with this guy.
Oh, what gave that away?
A couple things.
I mean, it's only that. I'm only drawing more cards. Whoa, 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 looky at that. 200 damage. Just enough to kill it.
Well, I guess it's ends the duel.
Yep. Alrighty, dude. Well, thanks, guys, for watching another episode of Friday Duels. This has been Jack and Kamina GX. And we'll catch you guys next time.